The final seconds. Center Grove is state champion.
Amber Harris again, and she continues to roll.
Well, Phillips is a very good player and extremely intelligent.
For a national title, and the shot is good! And Ben Davis comes away with a 71-69 win.
Lawrence North is gonna win it!
Hello again, everyone. This is Josh Ayen with the Mick Network. Welcome to another edition of the Champion of Champions Girls Basketball Tournament. We are down to our Elite Eight, and we want to thank all the fans and viewers who have tuned in, cast their votes over the last week or so to help decide the remaining teams in this tournament. To help break down the remaining matchups, we have a very special guest panel joining us. First off, Darrell Morton Jr. joining us as always. We also have the current head coach of the Warren Central Lady Warriors in Stacey Mitchell. He was also the head coach for the 2018 Lady Warriors, who is a team that is still active in the Champion of Champions tournament. And last but not least, we have not one, but two former Miss Basketball winners joining us, both from Ben Davis High School. First off, we want to welcome Shyra Eli, who won Miss Basketball in 2001. Went on to play collegiately at Tennessee for the legendary head coach, Pat Summitt. Also got to play a little bit in the WNBA as well. And finally, we have Bria Goss, who was a member of the 2009 and 2010 Lady Giants teams that won state titles. And again, she won Miss Basketball in 2011. Shyra, Bria, Coach Mitchell, thanks again for joining us. First off, let's recap how we got to our Elite Eight team. Starting over in the Southwest region in the top left corner of the bracket. It was smooth sailing for both 2009 and 2001 Ben Davis, as you see. 01 Ben Davis did have to go through an extra matchup in the first round, but they took care of 2007 for Buck with ease. The other two teams in the Northwest region, you have the top two seeds, 2000 Ben Davis, taking on 2009 Heritage Christian. You have 1987 Noblesville taking on 2018 Warren Central. 1987 Noblesville, they had a very close matchup with 2004 Buck. It was neck and neck heading into the final hours, but Noblesville was able to pull it out in the very end. And the closest matchup we actually had, Coach Mitchell, it was actually your Lady Warriors from 2018. At one point in the voting, I saw it was 194 to 190 with only 3 hours to go. But Coach Mitchell, your Lady Warriors were able to squeak it out against North Central thanks to the Warriors faithful. And because of that, they're going to be taking on the oldest team remaining in this bracket. So
awesome.
Well, last but not least, the last two teams in our Elite Eight, you had an upset with 2004 North Central taking out 2001 Cathedral, and the last team in this region, a very close matchup again between 2010 Ben Davis and 2020 Lawrence North. Bria, I see you shaking your head over there. It was a very close matchup. I know you were pestering the Ben Davis fans, wondering what is going on. Why is Lawrence North making this a close matchup? But nonetheless, 2010 Ben Davis, they were able to squeak it past the most recent state champs. And that is your Elite Eight right there. Half of the teams remaining are from Ben Davis. So anyways, one of the hallmarks of a state champion, is just their ability to battle through adversity. And that's, something that your team from 2018 did a really good job of, and just when things didn't go their way, and just the run that you were able to accomplish in the postseason. What do you remember from that year, and just your team's ability to just overcome obstacles on their way to Bankers Life Fieldhouse?
I tell you what, that team was what I remember mostly about that team that sticks out was just their mental toughness, and they're willing to work. I remember when we got the sectional draw, and when we were playing up against Lawrence North, and Lawrence North was a team that we had played close that year, and our girls, I remember they all texted me. We had a group text, and everybody had thumbs up. They were ready to go. They wanted Lawrence North, and after winning that game at Lawrence North, we had Heritage Christian next. That was another tough game. The young lady that's at Notre Dame, she's a McDonald's All-American. Played very well, and then we was able to beat North Central for the sectional title. But just to sum up the whole thing, that whole championship run, what I was most impressed with was the work ethic. And every day after we would advance, we come back and practice the next day, and it was just like business as usual. And the girls had just one mantra that I didn't know about. I found out about it after the state championship, and this just kind of tells you how tight they were. their whole thing was, we're going to move in silence. That was their mantra. We're going to move in silence. And I didn't know nothing about that until after the state championship. You know, you talk to the girls, and they kind of talk to say things. And their whole thing was, hey, look, we're just going to keep working, and we're going to move in silence. And okay, we won this game. It's on to the next and on to the next. And they kept going to class every day. They kept, you know, they didn't walk around the building like they owned the place. You know, I mean, they really were humble and hungry. And what I'm most proud of them, alongside their state championship, is our team GPA that year was a 3.5. I mean, that's, you know,
that's strong.
you know, you win with good people, you win with good kids, and you win with intelligent people. That's what you win with. And we had a really good mix.
Well, that's one of the big matchups I wanted to highlight, 1987 Noblesville versus 2018 Morton Central. The other matchup I want to highlight is a clash of two eras of Ben Davis basketball. On the Southwest region, you got 2009 Ben Davis, the national champs, taking on 2001 Ben Davis. Yes. And Bria, the reason why I want to highlight this matchup is because not only the fact that you have two Miss Basketballs going head-to-head with you and Shyra Eli, but because you and Shyra have been going back and forth a little bit on Twitter. I want to hear a little bit more about that backstory.
Well, first of all, me and Shyra, I actually got the opportunity to finally meet Shyra right after my senior season at Kentucky. She reached out to me and kind of tried to hook me up with her agency and things like that. So ever since then, like, we are actually, you know, good friends. Like, it's all friendly competition. And I don't know if you saw my last tweet, just kind of telling about, that's just the character of Ben Davis athletes, about that they just instill that competitiveness in you at such a young age. And I know I remember watching them play. I didn't go to the state game, but I remember being obsessed with that team and how they moved, that they were really the reason that we were even set up to be as successful as we were, you know, back in 09 and 10. We saw a lot of the things that they would do. So we tried not only to mimic, but we said, okay, well, let's see if we can do this a little better, you know? So everything on Twitter is all real competition. I sincerely believe that we can beat them, just like she sincerely can beat us. But even if we go out there and we were to play, we would do a lot of trash talking, and there'd be some bumps and bruises, but we would go and get a couple drinks after the game.
The reason why I believe that we are better is because of our personnel. Like, first of all, we had Sarah Strom, who's arguably the best athlete to come out of Ben Davis 12, you know, just because she's a 12 varsity year sport, whatever. She varsity 12 times.
Right. I got it.
I feel like we lost her, but we gained JB my senior year. So I just feel like we kept, you know, we unloaded, but we reloaded as well. And I think just like player for player, I just don't know, Bria. I just don't know. Player for player, me, Ashley Allen, we had Twin Towers, Kristen Van Valen and myself. Megan Johnson was probably the best pure shooter. You know, we just had a lot of, and we still hold some records. Individually, those players still hold records.
You guys had Ashley Allen, who was a phenomenal player. You had who you already know was an absolute monster on the court. And you had, I'm going to say, let's say your 2001 team. You had baby Janice. And I want to say baby Janice because Janice freshman year wasn't her Janice senior year. And seeing Janice and what she provided for you guys on the team that year.
Janice was a role player that year, yeah.
Yes. So, and again, Janice is one of my sisters as well. So no disrespect to her, but and who she was about to become. But Shyra, let me tell you, we would have wiped the floor with you guys only because
You can't say wipe the floor. You can't say wipe the floor.
I can't say wipe the floor.
Can't say wipe the floor.
It would be a close game. We would have pulled it off because you guys had that swag about you that was motivated by talent and not by hard work. And sometimes that hard work beats talent. Absolutely. We worked hard.
We need to call Mr. Kevin Vanderbush and bring him into this too, because listen, I've been really trying to remain so humble. I really do, but you're gonna make me pull out all of my cards. Oh dear. Like the thing about it is we literally blazed your trail. Like, if it wasn't for us and our work ethic and what we did in the weight room, like, there's no way. Like, how else do you think that we are the legacy? We are the legacy. legacy. We are the reason why y'all even came to Ben Davis. We are the reason why you wanted to play for Ben Davis. We are the reason why you even know where Ben Davis is, where it's on the map. Like, we are the reason. We built that gym. That is our gym. That's 2001 gym. We built that place. We built that program.
Ladies, I'm an outsider, okay, and got mad respect for Ben Davis girls basketball, but I got a question. Which team you think played the best defense between the better defense?
09.
09?
09. Hands down.
Y'all could have had. I don't know. I really don't know. Y'all could have had.
Y'all probably wouldn't have been able to get it past half court to even get the ball to you, Shyra. Y'all would have.
Are you serious? First of all, if Megan Jones, Amber Jackson, Ashley Allen, I could handle the ball myself. Like, anybody could have been able to bring the ball up on y'all. By that time, I was playing with Mr. Merriweather. Mr. Merriweather had me handling the ball.
Mr. Merriweather.
By that time.
Yeah.
Mr. Merriweather had me dribbling.
Mr. Mitchell?
He had me dribble busting.
Huh?
What do you think? Who had the best defense?
Well, I tell you what, I'm from Tennessee, so when I moved to Indy, Bria, you guys, that was during your reign. That's when I started coaching. I was coaching boys basketball at Warren End.
Yeah, and you don't
so
know.
I only got to see you guys. I saw y'all live. You guys were freaking wrecking ball. I mean, really. I mean, now I got to know Banks because Banks recruited Shayla to IU, so I talked to her a lot about the team she was on.
Right.
And I mean, I'm just gonna say it like this. What I've learned is during tournament time, especially at a time like this, the team that can play the best defense and make the less mistakes is gonna have a better chance because you can take defense anywhere. You can have a bad night offensively, but you can also have a great night defensively, and you'll still be right there.
So yeah, just to recap, voting will take place Tuesday starting at noon, and you will have 48 hours to vote. The only exception is going to be on Instagram stories where you will have 28 or 24 hours to vote, but on Facebook and on Twitter, you will have 48 hours to vote. So you got 4 matchups. You got 09 Ben Davis taking on 2001 Ben Davis in the Southwest region. In the Northeast region, you got 1987 Noblesville taking on 2018 Morton Central. In the Southeast region, 2004 North Central takes on 2010 Ben Davis. And last but not least, you got 2009 Heritage Christian taking on 2000 Ben Davis. So 4 very solid matchups, and I mean, it's going to be a very strong Ben Davis flavor all the way to the finish. But yeah, thanks again, everybody, for joining us. Coach Mitchell, cannot thank you enough for joining us. And Shyra and Bria, thank you again so much for joining us. It's nice to have everybody join us. And, yeah, we're going to see the fans decide for themselves what is going to happen, who's going to make it to the Final Four, the Champion of Champions girls basketball tournament.